much. Thank you. Very nice. Very good. You're a lovely audience. Thank you so much. And once again, welcome to Sunset Parlor here on a Saturday night. Well, there's a couple of things we'll go through in this show that I want to tell you about this group and about jazz and things. So for now, thank you so much. That was one called Black Orpheus. Thank you. Thank you. Black Orpheus, aka Orfeo Negro or Manha de Carnaval, was written in South America. It comes from Luiz Bonfá, guitarist, right? Luiz Bonfá in Brazil. Yeah, famous movie about it, so it's actually a soundtrack to a song. Jazz comes from all places. Of course, it was born in America, but it takes from the West Coast, took a lot from Brazil and some of this fusion that we call bossa nova. So that was one of those songs. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. We're going to switch to a bit of a different style. We pride ourselves in being a diverse group. And by the way, one thing I want you to know is you can count on this group for the rest of the year. If you like what you hear, this is your group, ladies and gentlemen. This is a group that can play a wedding, a graduation party, whatever you want. You just give us a call. So be sure to pick up a card or get our number at some point. And thank you so much. This is one called Cantaloupe Island. Hope you enjoy it. Chessa. Give him one round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very nice. That is a tune called Cantaloupe Island, composed by Herbie Hancock, piano player. He's still with us, right? He's still alive. Okay, cool. Some of our heroes are no longer with us, so it's nice to know he's still there. Hey, let me introduce you to the group. How about that? On the guitar, Jack Chessa. Give him one round of applause. And then you heard on the bass, you heard from none other than Mr. Mark Fowler. Very nice. Very good, very good. And on the drums, Miss Syncopation. Give her one round of applause. We talk a little bit about the history of jazz at Golden Groove shows. And we like to remember the composers that make this possible. Once again, that was Herbie Hancock. So this next one comes from a specific era in jazz and specifically bop history. Check out this tune. This is one called That Dere. Thank you. This tune here was written by a pianist named Bobby Timmons. Back when I was in college, I would look at these charts and I'd be like, wow, where's like the hardest tunes to play? And like, you see some of this stuff, and there's so many notes on the page that you're like, oh, can I play that? Oh, should I go for it? And this tune is just really, it's not so much what it looks like on the page, it's what it feels like, what it sounds like. So it's always been one of my favorites. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to say this one more time. Please give one more round of applause to the Sunset Parlor. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Leilainia, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. All right, so we're going to play this next tune, and I'll tell you about it once we play it, yeah? Thank you so much. Here we go. Thank you very much. Do you feel the heat, the speed, you know? That tune was composed by Charlie Parker. I'm just curious before I say, has anyone heard the name Charlie Parker in this room? All right. Very good. I'm glad. But I still feel like I have to preach because he's like the grandfather of saxophone, and anyone holding a saxophone has a mission to keep those names alive. So Charlie Parker lived a short life, but he wrote a lot of tunes and played a lot in his life. And that is one of them. That is one called Billy's Bounce. So one more round of applause for Charlie Parker. Thank you. What do you all say we slow it down a little after something like that? This next one is definitely a wedding tune. It's just more on the love side of things, and we love to play this tune. This is one called Body and Soul. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so this group is used to doing things a certain way. We like to take a break after a little while. But before we take a break, we're gonna do one tune because, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't told you this. I have a surprise for you. I did promise you a quintet, right? That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to join me and give one big warm welcome to our singer for the evening, Miss Paulina Reza, just walked in. Give her one round of applause. Thank you. So what do you say before we take a break? We have her sing a lovely tune for you all. Yeah, let's do that. 1, 2, 3.
Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear the bitter fight? And that happy tone is your tone. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to in the shade with my blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. Trouble's over. If I never had a cent, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Gold is at my feet on the sunny side of the street. Gold is at my feet. This is never down I see. I'll be rich as Rockefeller. On the sunny side of the street. I used to walk it just so that the sea but I say, I'm not afraid. But I if I never had a say, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Gold is in my feet on the sunny side of the street. can be so sweet on the sunny side of a street. If I never had a say, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Gonna say my feet on the sunny side of a street. I used to walk on the shade with my blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. Dramas over. If I never had a say, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Gonna say my feet on the sunny side of the street. Thank you.
Very nice. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Miss Paulina Reza on the vocals. Very nice. What do you all say we take a quick break? We're gonna give the musicians a little bit of a breather, and we'll be back in 10-15 minutes. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sunset Parlor. Thank you. So we are going to pick up where we left off, and that is with our vocalist. So help me welcome her back on stage, Miss Paulina Reza. We are going to start with a song that is very, very important for us jazz musicians, right? We all not only pass through it, but we learn to love the song. It's not just a matter of study, but it becomes a way of life. This is one called Autumn Leaves. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
The falling leaves drip out my window. The falling leaves of red and gold. I see your leaves, the summer kisses, the summer I used to know. Since you went away, days grow long, and so now here, all winter sun. But I miss you most of all, my darling. When I don't leave, it's sort of fall. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da say, ba-da-bum, do-da-boom-da-boo-da-do-bay. But I'm 70, but don't put to say, but better than ever, September. My palasi, but I'm city, do, Mambamba, say, Lavender said it, since you went away to the days, go out to do, but today, and soon I keep. My body don't be this up and dealing the zip it and no say I'm sorry to cry. my window, the falling leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, there's a murky taste, there's on my eyes. I used to know, since you went away, that there's
How about that, ladies and gentlemen? You know, this might be the start of something, a new El Paso tradition. What do you think? Y'all like the Sunset Parlor? Yeah? You like the jazz? All right, you like Miss Paulina Reza on the vocals? Keeping the art of jazz alive, yeah! Earlier when I was talking about instrumental songs and the history of jazz, we mentioned the background of Broadway into this repertoire that we keep alive, right? We talked about Frank Sinatra and those type of musicians. So now that Miss Paulina is here, I'd like to introduce you to this song that I think a lot of you will recognize. This is one called Fly Me to the Moon.
To the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Feel my heart with song and let me sing forevermore.
ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna switch to a quick instrumental before we bring Miss Paulina back on stage. But thank you so much. Give her one round of applause. Very nice. So this next one is also from the friendship and collaboration between two horn players, two instrumentalists of New York City. There was Dizzy Gillespie played the trumpet, and Charlie Parker played the saxophone. They say that they wrote this tune in the back of a napkin. I don't know if that's true, but I've written music on a napkin, so maybe it's true. There's a lot to write in a napkin. This is one called Night in Tunisia. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you. This is one called Softly as in the Morning Sunrise, the fast version. Hope you enjoy. 1, 2, 1. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I didn't want the night to be over without doing something like that. We're all still friends, right? Yes. Everybody's all right. Why not play fast every now and then? Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring back our singer, Miss Paulina Reza, on stage. Give her one round of applause. Thank you. So, the jazz ballad, the art of the jazz ballad, is just such a beautiful place to be. So, you heard a jazz ballad earlier, fronted by the saxophone. Now you're going to hear a jazz ballad fronted by our lovely singer. This is one called Misty by Errol Garner. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
was helpless as a kitten up a tree, and I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud. I can't understand, I get misty just holding your hand. Walk my way, and 1,000 budget leaves begin to play, or it might be the sound of your hello, that the music I hear. I get misty the moment you're near. Can't you see that you're leading me on? And it's just what I want you to do. Don't you notice how hopelessly I'm lost? That's why I'm following you. Oh, my way. When I'm walking through this wonderland alone, never knowing my right foot from my left, my head from my clothes, I get misty the moment you're near. Look at me, I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree, and I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud. I can't understand, I get misty just holding your hand. Walk my way, and 1,000 violins begin to play, or it might be the sound of your hello. That music I hear, I get misty. The moment you're near, can't you see that you're beating me up? Anytime when I want you to don't you notice how hard this is wrong? That's why I'm for with you. Oh, my way. When I'm walking, never knowing my right foot from my left, my hair from my glove, I get misty. The moment you leave, I get misty. And too much
Alrighty, so let's do one more. By the way, that was one called Misty, a very famous jazz ballad. This is going to be our last song of the night. Once again, I want to thank Sunset Parlor for making this possible. It's been a pleasure collaborating with you. Thank you so much, Sunset Parlor. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo a perderte, perderte después. Bésame, re, 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 bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo a perderte, perderte después. Brillarme en tus ojos, verte junto a mí. Piensa que tal vez mañana yo ya estaré lejos, muy lejos de ti. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Perderte después. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame, que tengo miedo a perderte después. Quiero tenerte muy cerca, mirarme en tus ojos, verme junto a ti. Piensa que tal vez mañana yo ya estaré lejos, muy lejos de ti. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Que tengo miedo a perderte.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you, thank you. We are the Golden Groove. Welcome to Sunset Parlor. Stick around and pick up some cards if you want to hang out for a little. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Thank you.